700 miles above Earth, a constellation of satellites pivots in perfect synchronization. Infrared sensors flare to life. Below, in the pre-dawn darkness over the Gobi Desert, a mobile launcher erects skyward. 5,000 degrees of controlled fury erupts as a DF-17 hypersonic glide vehicle begins its climb Mach 5, then Mach 10, then faster still. The missile's arc is deliberate, aimed not at a test range, but across the Pacific toward the continental United States. In Colorado, at the heart of NORAD's Cheyenne Mountain Complex, warning systems cascade red. Space-based sensors detect the thermal bloom within seconds. Tracking satellites in low Earth orbit lock on. Data streams through laser links between orbital platforms, fusing into a single picture painted by artificial intelligence operating at machine speed. This is the moment decades of engineering and hundreds of billions of dollars have built toward. When adversaries launch weapons designed to evade every defense America has ever fielded, when hypersonic gliders maneuver unpredictably through the upper atmosphere, when the Homeland faces threats that traditional missile shields were never designed to stop. Tonight, that equation changes. 8:47 hours, Missile Defense Agency Headquarters, Huntsville, Alabama. September 2025, the SHIELD program. Scalable Homeland Innovative Enterprise Layered Defense represents the largest single missile defense contract in American history. A 10-year, $151 billion commitment to building a multi-domain, multi-layer defensive architecture over the United States. This isn't just an upgrade to existing systems. This is America's answer to a strategic reality that keeps Pentagon planners awake. Peer competitors are fielding weapons specifically designed to penetrate American defenses. China deploys DF-17 missiles that glide through the atmosphere at hypersonic speeds, maneuvering to evade interception. Russia's avant-garde hypersonic glide vehicles travel at Mach 20, making them nearly impossible to track with traditional radar. North Korea's advancing ICBM program grows more sophisticated with each test. The Cold War doctrine of mutual assured destruction faces its greatest challenge in decades. SHIELD operates under the umbrella of Golden Dome, the National Priority Initiative unveiled in May 2025 to deploy next-generation missile defenses across land, sea, and space. Retired U.S. Space Force General Michael Goetlein oversees the effort from a new federal authority at Redstone Arsenal. The strategic imperative is clear: build a comprehensive shield that can defeat ballistic missiles, cruise missiles, and hypersonic weapons across all phases of flight boost, mid-course, and terminal. The architecture that emerges from SHIELD represents revolutionary integration. Unlike siloed Cold War systems, this network fuses space-based sensors with ground radar arrays, AI-driven command networks with land-based and future orbital interceptors. 550 satellites will form a mesh tracking baseball-sized objects anywhere on Earth. Ground-based interceptors, THAAD batteries, Aegis destroyers, and specialized glide phase interceptors create overlapping layers where each system backs up the others. Compare this to any adversary capability. Russia's S-500 can engage perhaps 8 targets simultaneously. China's integrated air defense networks, while impressive, lack the sensor fusion and AI-driven coordination that SHIELD brings. Golden Dome's battle management network can coordinate responses to swarms of incoming threats across multiple domains simultaneously, instantaneously, lethally. The development breakthrough came when commercial space proved that massive satellite constellations were feasible. SpaceX's Starlink demonstrated that hundreds of platforms could be deployed cost-effectively. The Space Development Agency took note, launching its own proliferated warfighter space architecture for military applications. By 2023, Northrop Grumman and L3 Harris deployed experimental hypersonic and ballistic tracking space. Sensor satellites HBTSS prototypes that successfully tracked a hypersonic test missile, proving the concept worked. SHIELD consolidates these efforts under one massive procurement vehicle. The Missile Defense Agency structured it as a multiple award, indefinite delivery, indefinite quantity contract, enabling rapid acquisition across 4 work areas: research and development, engineering and manufacturing, logistics and maintenance, and information technology development, engineering and production, operations and support, and analysis and IT services. This approach allows MDA to issue task orders quickly as needs emerge if a new hypersonic threat appears. SHIELD can rapidly fund interceptor upgrades or sensor prototypes without initiating separate contracts. Testing validated revolutionary capabilities. Next-generation interceptors, NGI, designed by competing teams, led by Lockheed Martin and Northrop Grumman/Raytheon, demonstrated the ability to defeat complex threats with multiple warheads and sophisticated decoys. Space-based tracking satellites proved they could hand off targets seamlessly, maintaining continuous custody of incoming missiles. AI algorithms processed targeting data and recommended engagement solutions faster than human operators could comprehend the threat picture. By mid-2025, the pieces were falling into place. Congress authorized $25 billion in immediate funding. Industry response was overwhelming. MDA received over 1,500 questions on the request for proposals. Multiple prime contractors position themselves for awards expected in early 2026. The operational scenario unfolds in real time across multiple domains. The Chinese DF-17, detected at launch, triggers the first layer. Next-generation overhead persistent infrared satellites in geostationary orbit spot the thermal plume within seconds. Data flows to Space Command headquarters, while medium Earth orbit tracking satellites acquire the missile's trajectory. Machine learning algorithms eliminate false positives. This is the real deal. The hypersonic and ballistic tracking space sensor constellation provides precision tracking. Low-orbit satellites positioned like pearls on a string hand off the target seamlessly as it arcs over the Pacific. The missile's boost phase ends. Now coasting through space, approaching the point where it will deploy its hypersonic glide vehicle. Golden Dome's AI-driven battle management system calculates intercept solutions at machine speed. 3 engagement options emerge. Space-based interceptors positioned along the trajectory can hit during mid-course 87% probability. Ground-based next-generation interceptors from Alaska offer backup 73%. Glide phase interceptors launched from Aegis destroyers off the west coast provide terminal defense 65%. The system recommends layered engagement. Human commanders have 14 seconds to approve. They do. At 847 seconds after launch, the space-based interceptor fires maneuvering thrusters. Cold gas jets orient the kill vehicle toward its target. Onboard sensors infrared, visible light, millimeter wave radar lock on. The closing velocity is astronomical, 35,000 miles per hour combined speed. At this velocity, kinetic energy alone equals 150 pounds of TNT. No explosive warhead necessary, pure physics does the work. But the DF-17 deploys decoys 2 false warheads alongside the real threat. The space-based interceptor's AI brain, trained on millions of simulated encounters, analyzes radar returns, thermal signatures, trajectory patterns. In microseconds, it identifies the genuine warhead. Impact occurs 180 miles above the Pacific. No sound, no flash visible from Earth's surface, just the sudden cessation of a threat that minutes earlier could have devastated Los Angeles. The kill is confirmed by multiple sensors. Threat boards in Cheyenne Mountain update, threat neutralized. The strategic implications ripple through adversary command centers worldwide. In Moscow, analysts scramble to understand how American technology intercepted what was theoretically uninterceptable. In Beijing, military planners calculate the cost of building enough missiles to overwhelm the defense and find the numbers staggering. This successful intercept validates 2 decades of investment in advanced defense systems. It demonstrates that America possesses capabilities no other nation can match: space-based tracking, AI-driven coordination, interceptors fast enough to catch hypersonic weapons. More importantly, it changes the calculus of nuclear brinkmanship. Behind this technological marvel stands an industrial achievement as impressive as the system itself. SHIELD involves over 400 suppliers across 40 states. Lockheed Martin leads interceptor development and integration, building THAAD systems and next-generation interceptors at facilities in Alabama. Northrop Grumman spearheads command and control architecture and sensor development, leveraging its work on IBCS and HBTSS satellites. Raytheon provides critical sensor and interceptor components, manufacturing Patriot missiles, developing glide phase interceptors, building radars like AN/TPY-2 and SPY-6 that form the network's eyes. Boeing manages ground-based mid-course defense infrastructure while developing common launchers. L3 HARRIS supplies sensor payloads and communications links, tying the distributed network together. SpaceX and Blue Origin provide launch services, deploying satellites cost-effectively to orbit. Walk through Lockheed's Alabama facility and you'll see technicians assembling next-generation interceptors, 50,000 individual components per unit, sourced from suppliers across 47 states. At Northrop's facilities, software engineers debug algorithms that must distinguish real warheads from sophisticated decoys in microseconds. At Raytheon's Arizona plants, workers manufacture radar arrays using technologies that took decades to perfect. The program supports over 300,000 jobs across all 50 states. Shipyard workers in Mississippi build Aegis destroyers equipped with interceptors. Radar technicians in Alaska maintain early warning systems. Software developers in Austin write battle management code. Young Space Force officers monitor the system 24/7, trained on scenarios that previous generations could only imagine. SHIELD represents more than weapons systems. It embodies a fundamental choice about America's place in the world. For 70 years, nuclear deterrence rested on mutual vulnerability. Both superpowers remained secure because both could be destroyed. Golden Dome offers a different path: security through technological superiority and active defense. By the late 2020s, Golden Dome will provide comprehensive coverage against the most dangerous threats of our era. It won't be impenetrable, no system ever is, but it will dramatically raise the bar for any adversary contemplating missile attack on American soil. The program demonstrates what democratic nations can accomplish when they commit resources and political will to maintaining security that makes freedom possible. So here's the strategic question. If you were designing America's next-generation defense architecture, would you prioritize expanding SHIELD's coverage, accelerating space-based interceptors, or investing in directed energy weapons for terminal defense? And does a near-perfect missile shield make America safer, or does it risk an arms race that leaves everyone less secure? This is DIB Dispatch, where billion-dollar projects meet battlefield reality, and the future of American defense takes shape in the workshops and command centers most people never see.